Great moves.
It's limited space. You can't do much.
All right.
Now if we're on a real dance floor.
Yeah, you'd be cutting it up, right? Okay, we're live. So I'll you like that though, right?
I do like the music.
I need to get some new tunes in here.
Yeah,
we're gonna work on it.
Yep.
Definitely gonna work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the deal. Topic today is going to be an interesting one. So whether you hate us
or you might like us
or you love us, we want to talk about how we bring the parties together more, because ultimately our government and a lot of our companies in this country are screwing us over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we debate endlessly, and we have all kinds of toxic back and forths with people we don't agree with. And you have to wonder if it's really by design, right? And nothing really materially changes. You know, each president gets in, they do a couple different things.
4 years is not enough.
And then it just sort of like the pendulum goes one way, back the other way. And ultimately, like, does anything really materially change in terms of the things that really matter for, you know, human beings on the ground in this country, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, we did say we are happy with a couple things this current administration's doing.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things where we're like, most of us have common ground.
Yeah. In fact, I think what spurred us to do this topic today, and I hope people appreciate this, because like you can look at our short form content. Obviously, like we do a lot of liberal mocking, and we find that kind of like fun and easy. But the truth is, we want the country to be better for everybody. We really do.
Because we got kids.
Yeah, we got kids. We want them to have a future life. And some of the policies, in fact, that we argue for are not good for us because of our like particular position, but it's good for America. And so one of those is like, we got to do something about inflation. It's really bad for future generations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we're older and we have some assets, like it's okay for us.
Yeah.
But it's not good for the future. And so we're trying to be sincere in this. So we want to bring up some ideas today, because I had a debate / discourse with somebody yesterday, a pretty sharp individual, challenged me a lot. I think I challenged him a lot as well, but really got me, you know, thinking. And so this was fun because this is a like very left-leaning individual, and I am, you know, right to like traditional conservative individual. And we went over a lot of stuff, and it was very like good faith discussion. We had a number of things we absolutely like, I don't think we like totally come together on. But what I did find is we had a lot of common ground. We want a lot of the same things, but we have different ideas of like what causes them and maybe even how to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
it's probably most people have that.
Yes. And unfortunately, all we do is fight. All we do is fight in social media. You just go to one of our social media posts or whatever, and it's just all toxic, like garbage. Like, get a few nice comments, but for the most part, it's really a toxic universe. And guess what? You're incentivized to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we posted recently something called the Humanity Project, where we had people suggest accounts that we would normally clash with ideologically.
Yeah.
And we went and looked at those accounts and found common ground or something that we agreed with within their content, and we posted about it.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys finish that?
We're halfway. We did 5 of those.
Okay.
And I suggest let's do 10 of them and see how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
The first 5, they're out, and like they didn't really perform very well.
It's because you were nice.
Yeah, it's the rage bait, clickbait, like hatred that is driving the algorithms. And so social media is driven by that. So are our news channels. Our news channels, they don't even report news anymore. All you have to do is go to MSNBC and then Fox, which we don't watch any of this anymore because it's all just like propaganda at this point. But you go to these news channels, right? And you watch one and you watch the other, and you like literally like you think you're in a different universe.
They're all biased. Mm-hmm.
And so they're all sort of like peddling this conflict. And ultimately you have to wonder to yourself, like, is this by design? Mm-hmm. They're actually wanting us to have a bunch of infighting so that our
mind is taken away from what we should be focusing
on.
Right. Yeah.
We're distracted.
Yeah.
So we're distracted from like, oh, why aren't our politicians doing like the simple stuff that we know that we want them to do?
Yeah.
Like
No, they want you to worry about the government's shutdown and who caused it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's a great example of like they're both just pointing fingers at each other. And then once it gets resolved, they're like, yeah, see, it's still the other side. I don't know. And ultimately they just all look like a bunch of D-bags.
Well,
And
it's fueled that way. You want an emotional reaction, and I think you get more emotion out of hate.
for sure, hate is maybe the strongest fear, maybe is the strongest emotion,
Yeah,
but hate is right up there.
Fear-mongering. Yep.
So fear-mongering, hatred is really strong and it's driving everything. It keeps us divided, and then we can't come together, right? Because we have the masses, like the people run the country.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that's how the Constitution is set up. But if we don't come together, then we can't actually get anything done. So we want to run some ideas by
we the people.
Yeah, why by we the people today? Because I am just, I guess like I want to see stuff actually happen.
Yeah.
And I think we all do.
You're a GSDer.
I'm a good stuff. Yeah.
You're nothing's GSDing.
We're all about getting stuff done. And I think it's very frustrating for people. And I get like not depressed, but I get frustrated when, I continue to like try to engage with people and you try to change their mind on the big things. But it turns out there's actually a bunch of little things that we agree on.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe what we could do is we focus on those. Let's knock those out. Let's knock those things out. And then, start chipping away at it, right? They talk about, for example, like there's all kinds of analogies you could use, but you can, peel the layers of the onion back. But there are certain things that are obvious. And let me share a couple. Let me share a couple because I do think that, sorry here, let me get this up because I had a couple of notes that I thought I could put up. So let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Things that I believe strongly, both parties, 100% people, not our politicians, because they don't even represent us anymore.
Right.
Things that I think people almost unanimously agree on. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Number one is release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about it. Let's put them out there. We're grown-ups, most of us. So let's put them out there. Like, if you're in the files, you're not guilty. But if you're implicated in the files, you're guilty of being a real creep. And let's get them out there. Now, we've had varying votes. We had past administration, current administration, and for whatever reason, multiple administrations, right? People on both sides of the aisle are not wanting these out. So just like, like the people want it. The people want it, but our politicians aren't doing it.
Right. Right. So we're frustrated. And how come they just can't bring it out? They say, "Oh, there's nothing to see here. There's no case." Well, then show us.
Be honest. Either yes, be honest, or show us, right? Or be honest and say there's stuff in there that is so dangerous to our national interest that we can't release it. Like at least be honest about it. Like, oh, this implicates like various nations and it would cause world conflict. Like, I don't know. So, because otherwise, all we do is we spend days and days and every freaking podcast and every influencer is just speculating about something that we don't really know.
But maybe they're having you do that so you're not focused on
exactly
stuff to get done.
So we're distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one, right?
Yep.
Release the Epstein files.
Yep.
Why not?
Which they are going to vote on it next week.
Yeah. Well, and Republicans have voted against this in recent times.
Yes. Like, which makes you think that I honestly think the people in the files are high up billionaires who are helping fund elections.
Well, again, let's not speculate. Let's just get the files up.
You're right. Okay. Boom. Show us.
Otherwise, it's all speculation. So it's silly. Okay, so that's one.
Mm-hmm.
No insider trading. Our politicians shouldn't be making money off of information that they have about companies and bills that are coming through.
Right. I agree with that.
Right? Does anybody disagree with that? Democrat or Republican? No. I don't know anybody.
Right.
So, like, let's get that done. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay. 3, term limits.
Yep.
We don't need people in Washington for 50 years.
Yeah.
That's insane. It was never intended that way. It is a job of service. It is not intended to be a big money maker. However, people go to Washington.
This is why they have the insider trading, or they allow the trading. That's why people are there for so long, because they have, I get the info before everyone else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why do you want to keep staying when you get nothing done? I would find being in a political position as like one of no purpose.
It's a
because
it
you
can
don't
be
get
very thankless.
anything done.
Yes, it's a very thankless. I would be like, you feel purpose and usefulness when you actually get things done, and so I can't imagine like what a thankless job being a politician must be, because they just sit there and fight. So what do? They try to enrich themselves through information that they have or context that they have. And so this is another obvious one. Like, we don't want insider trading. There are ways that we could restrict that. Just like, I worked in a corporate company. I couldn't trade the public stock of the company that I worked at outside of within blackout periods, right? Like, we could do the same with Congress and our senators and all of our politicians. And that could be enforced by the SEC. It's not that hard. This is an easy one, but it's not in their best interest, so they don't vote for it, even though all of their constituents want it.
Right.
Yeah, because it reduces corruption and collusion.
Actually, we would trust them more. They would make decisions for us rather than monetary decisions for themselves.
Yes. So did we get to? No insider trading, term limits.
Yeah.
When people are there for a lifetime, they're just trying to enrich themselves over their life. So generally, I haven't found Democrats that don't also agree that we should have term limits. This is not healthy. We need new blood, new people in there to mix things up and not create an environment where we have lifelong politicians. But unfortunately, what happens is your name becomes recognizable. And when people go to the ballot, they're like, oh, like here in Arizona, we have Schweikert. And I'm like, could I name the biggest accomplishments that Schweikert has had? No. Off the top of my head, I cannot. But yet he keeps getting voted in. And so, like, he's a good example, and he's a Republican, right? But this is an example of what happens in every state. Like, Pelosi probably could say the same thing. Like, he's just a name that you recognize in the ballot. And you're like, well, I'm a Democrat, so I got to vote for. So, nonetheless, I think getting new energy in there. And then that leads to the fourth item, which I think most people would agree with on both sides of the aisle. Are you ready? Age limits.
Yeah, that goes along with term limits. Yeah.
Yeah, age limits and term limits.
I like this one because you brought it up the other day, where if they're going to vote on AI stuff, do we think Chuck Schumer knows anything about AI for us young people? Like, is he going to make a good decision?
You want Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer voting on AI regulation?
They don't even know how to turn their iPhone on.
I'll bet you they don't know how to do a software update on their iPhone.
Right. They probably get the virus scan on their computer, and they call the number, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I picture them. I mean, they're older than my parents. Like, I picture them like that. And that's scary when I think about their understanding of technology. So now they probably get briefed and everything from their groups. But look, I think this is an area that people could align on. Somewhere between the age of 30 and 75 is like a spot where people could represent us reasonably.
Or like, retirement age. I don't even know if 75.
I think 75 is up there.
Too old.
Because you need energy, you need cognitive ability, you need staying power. Like, I would like to have it low, but nonetheless, like, have age limits. And yes, this applies to Biden, applies to Trump.
Yeah.
I want to see people a little bit fresher in office, and I think most people would agree with that. So that's one. Okay, so those are like pretty basic.
We had one more.
You were
going to show something?
Yeah, I got something else. So I got a number of these. You could go on, but another would be single bill legislation.
Then we can all understand, and then actually everyone can run for a political space.
You know what people are voting for.
The people who don't want single bill are going to be your big corporations.
Yes, these are people that want to wedge in a bunch of other little stuff. Like, they want to leverage their vote to get some, pork added into the bill for their area or whatever. So it results in a bunch of corruption.
Yeah.
And it results in a bunch of wasted spending. So have single bill legislation. If the bill can't stand on its own merit, then it's no good.
Right.
Like, I don't know why this is complicated.
Why we have so many laws and rules. This is why.
And people want this. They want to know, like, okay, are we going to vote for funding for Ukraine? No, let's add the funding for Ukraine, add the funding for Israel, add it into a border bill. Let's put some, like, veteran aid on top of that too. And then if somebody doesn't vote for it, we'll say, you don't support the vets? Like, it's crazy. So each of those things should be able to exist and get passed on its own merit.
Right.
Yes or no? Like that's simple.
I like that. But plus, who also wants to read 1,000 pages? I'm sorry. I can only read like 30 in a time and then I get exhausted. So can you imagine anybody who like they vote on it in 24 hours and you have to read? Nobody even does that. So
No.
this is where we all know it's a scam. These people aren't even doing it.
No, well, they have their team read it, or nowadays what they're starting to do is they just feed it into like a scanner and have AI read it and give them the bullet points.
And they're probably missing some stuff.
Oh. I mean, none of it gets through anyway. It's none of it really like matters. So, okay. So what else?
Were you going to show a clip of something?
No.
Oh,
do you want me to show a clip?
No, I saw you swipe something over.
Oh no.
I don't know what that was.
I was on a different screen because I was just looking at some notes I had. So I got a long list of these, but these are the most obvious ones in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one.
More.
This is more on the state level.
Okay. You do wonder if should you start at the state level and then conquer federal?
Yeah.
Or should you do federal and then conquer state?
It's a great question. Like so I think let's go over a couple more points and then let's come back to like, what can we do? What can we do? How can we align with our adversaries in terms of political ideology and actually get some stuff done? Mm-hmm. Because we could move mountains if we could get together with our other side and have some bipartisan alignment and get some things done. So yes, but you bring up a good point. Like you start local, state, federal level. But here's another one on a state level.
Okay.
Something that is crushing people because inflation is rampant, has been, and will continue to be. Mm-hmm. As long as we have out of control spending and we're going to have inflation. So property taxes, we're going to put out a couple of posts on this because Will and I did this last night, but we've discussed this before. But you don't really own your home. You're paying property taxes on your home. So you're renting your home essentially from the government because if you don't pay your property taxes.
Yeah, then they'll take it away from you.
Now, property taxes are a rate of your assessed value of your property. Mm-hmm. And so with inflation, you could be a retired couple. You and I could retire today and we paid cash for our house, right? And our house was worth $500,000, let's say. And so we know that we're going to pay $2,500 a year in property taxes. We can plan and financially plan for that, right? Now, fast forward, inflation goes rampant. Property values go through the roof. That home is worth $5 million. Like this actually happens in California, okay, and certain areas of the country. And Phoenix is not too different. Now you got to pay $25,000 a year, and you're retired. You never expected this. So to me, there could be state legislation that I think generally most people would agree on is you should be able to lock in at your state property tax at the value of what you bought the home for, not what it escalates over time with inflation.
That does not help the government.
No, it doesn't help the government, but it's good for the people.
It is good for the people. I like that.
Yeah. And somebody in here asked about the Epstein files. Yeah, that was the first thing we covered is like both sides of the party want the Epstein files out. No brainer.
Well, Republicans, I don't know if they do.
Well,
there's
our politicians. Let's make it different.
Yeah. Specify.
Yes,
politicians.
We're talking about the people here.
American people do.
The American people want these out, both left and right. Mm-hmm. Our politicians vary in their conviction about wanting them out, left and right. So, like, if they're representing us, these things should be released.
Yeah,
no brainer.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, those are a few. The other day we went off on sporting too. Yeah. Like we fund through our taxes local sports stadiums. The city, the people own the sports stadiums, and then to have exclusive viewing rights through specific applications, whether ESPN or Peacock, is asinine to me. Mm-hmm. When we are paying to fund the stadiums, we should have streaming rights local to all cities for all local sports teams. Like this is another one that I think all sides can agree on. So anyway, so these are a number of things. So how do we get this done?
Yeah, what's the
we have the masses. The people are here. Maybe if we could stop fighting for a minute about other stuff. Like, can we start chipping away at the things that actually we do agree on and could make a difference?
Yeah, instead of being like left and right, these are what we discussed just now, a few topics that I think everyone can agree on.
Yeah.
Of what we need our politicians to have happen to them. Otherwise, they're not representing us.
Right.
So, but the question then is, who do you tackle first? Your state representatives or the federal?
I don't think talking to the representatives does anything anymore.
No. I mean, just tackle. Like
I mean, I'd like to tackle some of them.
Take down first.
let's do nonviolent approach though. Let's say nonviolent approach. How can we do something that is painful or disruptive, economically or whatever? So so that we can make an impact.
Well,
what are some of those things that
how
we could do?
we discussed about the football? We would get rid of our YouTube TV subscription.
Yeah, but you need a level of scale to do it.
Right.
And so something you and I were kicking around is like maybe we could try to get with some other people, even on the other side of the political spectrum, to say like, let's start a movement where it's like you pledge that, hey, we're all going to unsubscribe from YouTube TV until they do X.
That's where, everybody's got to commit though.
Everybody has to be committed. And so I think there's an element of like, when you make a pledge like that, you're committed to it, but you want to be committed knowing that there is scale to it. And so like you could say, well, okay, we've got 10 million people now committed. So on November 30th, we're going to go cancel our memberships.
Yeah.
Right. And we have to, like, if you pledge, you got to stay committed. And we could say that the commitment starts when we hit the pledge count number, right? That way we know we have the scale to do it.
Yeah.
So I think there are interesting things that we could do. Now, it's not painless. Like, yes, if we cut off YouTube TV or our ESPN app or whatever it is, we're going to miss a few games. I don't like that. But at the end of the day, like, they're extorting the public, and they
need to feel the pain that they're hurting us as much.
Yeah. And they have some unfair practices. Like we are, like I said, we are funding our local stadiums. We should be able to watch our local games. The rights to watch a local sports team should be a local citizen right, in my opinion. Like every citizen should, rich or poor, should be able to watch a local sporting game on their television, on antenna, local sort of networks. So that's one. But if we go back to the other points, like, so that's more of a local one, I guess,
right.
Local or state one, that you could leverage some scale to make an impact, perhaps. When it comes to big federal items like releasing the Epstein files, like single bill legislation, like term limits, like no insider trading, like these are no-brainer things that we want done. And somebody in the chat said asinine. Yes, it's asinine. Okay.
I like that word.
I know. That's one of my new favorite words. So those are harder, right, at the federal level to get done. But like if you had enough people committed, where, like, here's an extreme example where we're all like, we're not going to pay taxes. Like we're just not going to pay tax. We got 50 million people signed up that say we're not going to pay taxes unless you get this done by April 30th.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's a crime though not to pay taxes.
Well, they're not going to arrest all of us.
That's right. If we have a large amount.
Yes. They can't.
That's why it can't just.
That's why scale matters.
It can't be a handful. It has to be a large amount.
Yeah, that's why scale matters, and you can do this economically. I know there's people like out there, well, they want revolution and so forth. Like, nobody really wants that. But can we make changes like peacefully?
It's
through
like
economic pain?
Voting with your dollars. Remember, they say if you don't like Costco's DEI policy, like get rid of your membership. Which obviously not enough people did that to make them change their stuff. But it's voting with your dollars. Like if you don't like Amazon policies, quit buying on Amazon. Like we don't buy Nike because they have child
labor.
Yes. So granted though, everyone wears Nike. So
yeah,
it's obviously up to the individual if they want to act or not.
Well, that's the thing. But if you get a pledge, you get enough people, then you feel like you're not alone. Like we can boycott Nike, but not that many people are.
Yeah.
If we had 10 million people doing it,
right.
Now Nike's like, wait. But it doesn't have to be Nike. It could be, it could be a variety of things.
Just like that that Jennifer Say with XXXY brand,
Mm.
keep men out of women's
Yeah, but now you're
sports.
talking about very partisan issues.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Let's talk about things
Well, I
that
was
are
using
not
her as an
partisan.
example. She had an example of like, buy my product instead of Nike.
Yeah, of course. And so I think you can do that on partisan lines. Like there's, Public Square is a competitor with Amazon and they have American brands. So you could go to there. But ultimately, like to me, it's like, how can we, because if we can actually agree on things
Mhm.
that we don't fight about
Mhm.
left and right, now we have like real scale that we can use.
You have more people.
Yes. And we can also use social media and connections there, and it would show some unity for
Mhm.
once.
It could scare the government.
Yes.
Like, oh, whoa, these people are
They
actually
need
talking to each other.
They need to represent us, and they are not representing us.
Mhm.
You've heard me. I've talked to politicians. I'm like, when you get to Washington, are you going to betray everything you just told me?
Mhm.
And you know what they do? That's exactly what
They
they do.
do.
Every time. Every single time. And it's just the same thing in
They drink
Washington.
the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Or
It's
what
like they
is
get
it?
there. It's like they get there and there's a magic book that's like, oh, thou shalt not do any of these things. Thou shalt vote party line. There's a few that don't. Like I give it up for Fetterman and Rand Paul. I think those are the most obvious examples on both sides that actually will oppose their party.
Mhm.
So nonetheless, I would love to get feedback from people. Leave a comment, drop an idea, but I'm planning to reach out to people who are on the left that I disagree with, but find things that we can agree on together. And maybe we can drive some unity to get some scale, to make some impact and get something done.
Yes. I
Huh?
like it.
Wouldn't that be tremendous?
It's probably gonna be a long process to get there, but if we
Yeah.
can do it, we could make an impact.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Well, with that, she'll close it out.
You got some music?
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Much appreciated.
See you later.